What's up YouTube, and welcome back to the Anabolic Outpost. Next time you are craving that syrupy sandwich known as the McGriddle, served at those golden yellow arches, think again and save yourself some time in the drive-thru and make this leveled up protein McGriddle. Not only does this recipe have triple the amount of protein as the normal sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddle, it's also much bigger and much tastier. And despite having that amount of protein while also being that much bigger, it is still lower in calories than the McDonald's version. And all things considered, it's pretty easy to make when you're making the entire thing from scratch. And for a sandwich that has been subjectively voted the unhealthiest breakfast sandwich on the fast food market, this is a much upgraded version that your taste buds and your heart will enjoy consuming. So before we get into cooking this glorious sandwich, let me run through the ingredients you will need to make it. First things first, we have ground turkey breakfast sausage, protein powder, preferably vanilla or something that has a neutral flavor, all-purpose flour, egg whites, which will go into the McGriddle bun, sugar-free syrup to capture that signature flavor of the McGriddle, 1 whole egg, 1 reduced fat slice of American cheese, or fat-free if you could find it. And to season the patty, we have oregano, salt, and pepper. And as you are already aware, there are 3 aspects that go into making the McGriddle. First things first, and arguably the hardest part, which is still easy at the end of the day, is making the McGriddle buns. And I recommend using a mixing bowl that has an easy pour spout because these will be poured directly on the stove. And the first ingredient I'm adding into that is 1 scoop or 32 grams of vanilla protein powder. Up next is the all-purpose flour, only 12 grams of that. 90 grams of egg whites. And the most important ingredient, the one that makes it what we know as the McGriddle, sugar-free maple syrup. From here, you can mix the batter thoroughly, and in this time, we're going to be making the sausage patty. So as an optional step, place it in the freezer for 15 to 20 minutes. It just helps solidify the batter and makes for an easier pour onto the stovetop. And on to making the sausage patty. It's really easy because the ground turkey sausage comes seasoned already in the breakfast sausage seasoning. I just like to add a little bit of salt and pepper and 1 teaspoon of oregano. I don't even measure it out, it's really hard to mess this one up. And get those hands dirty and mix the seasonings in. And as you're mixing in the seasonings, you can begin to form it into patty shape. As you see, I'm just throwing it back and forth between my hands, and it slowly starts to flatten out into the patty. Switching over to the stove, you're going to give your pan a quick spray, as well as a circular cookie cutter, which the egg will eventually go into, making that signature circle McDonald's egg shape. As you could probably tell though, I don't have a circular cookie cutter, so I am using the lid of a mason jar. Both of them work fine. Go ahead and do yourself a favor too and pick up one of these flat top skillets, linked in the description and great for many things including anabolic French toast. Once your skillet is set to medium heat, you could take your McGriddle batter and pour it into 2 separate circles. And take note of the time and precision I am taking to pour this onto the skillet because I did not follow my own advice and let this refrigerate first. And if you're in the same boat, just pour a little bit at a time. As it eventually cooks, it'll solidify itself and form that shape. And after about 3 to 5 minutes, the buns will be ready for a flip. I matched up my oval-shaped buns with my oval-shaped patty. And speaking of the patty, there it is onto the griddle right now. And pressing it down into its final patty shape to match the buns. And go ahead and flip them for the first time. You will have to double flip them later. Hopefully it's not too disappointing to see I don't have the golden M engraved into my buns, but we're going for function over aesthetics. And another 3 to 5 minutes later, I'm now going to give my patty a flip, and also give my buns another flip. And the McGriddle patty and sausage is nearly done cooking, so the best part, making the McDonald's circular egg at home. Go ahead and crack it into the mason jar lid or circular cookie cutter and break the yolk. Unless you want an explosion in your mouth, then you could leave the yolk there. But here at McDonald's, we would never let piping hot liquid get on our customers and burn them severely. The buns are more than done cooking though, so I'm going to take them off the heat. Time for a little danger now, removing that mason jar lid without scorching your hand. And mine just fell on the floor. There's nothing in nature more beautiful than a circular egg, so delicately give it a flip. And it's all coming together quickly now. I gave the patty one additional flip and added on the cheese to begin to melt. Both of which are now just about done, so time to assemble the sandwich. Bun, sausage, cheese, egg, bun, McGriddle. And there is that beautiful McGriddle in action, the sandwich that has McDonald's beat. This right here has become a favorite hobby of mine, embarrassing these fast food restaurants by making a bigger and lower calorie sandwich while also being subjectively tastier. A sandwich that will leave you without the heartburn and stomach ache that comes with indulging in the golden yellow arches. And to give you the macro breakdown of this recipe, first I'll rattle off the McDonald's McGriddle macros. Their sandwich has 550 calories with 19 grams of protein, 44 grams of carbs, and 33 grams of fat. And the much improved protein McGriddle has 475 calories with 60 grams of protein, 16 grams of carbs, and 17 grams of fat. A complete macro rearranging switch up while still maintaining lower caloric value. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you may not be aware that I have recently started a food blog in conjunction with my YouTube channel. Ever since I started this channel, there have been tons of comments for people asking me to put the recipe in written form, and now I finally have an outlet where I could write out my recipes, whether you prefer it in written form versus the video, or to follow along while you're making it yourself. I'll have the blog linked on screen and also in the description. Go ahead and check it out and make yourself some recipes. That's all for today though. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like on the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you, and I will see you in the next one.